Okay, here we go with part 2. Now, this is our text, sort of all undifferentiated. The first thing we want to do is to identify the key terms that will give us the structure. Okay, so you have them in part on your worksheet, but let's just find them. If you start from the beginning, Kaman az lahadatanya, that's a phrase that you had on the worksheet and you need to look up. Okay, scan, 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 scan. Come on, well, it's the same term. There's some connection going on there. Ibait ema, okay? A structural term doesn't have any. It's not a content term. Structural term. Scan, 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 scan. Ditanya, right? That v'chi is a term we've seen structurally as a secondary term though. Ella, also an important term that's going to help us with the flow of the thinking. And then Amar Rabbi Yonatan, which, even though which is clearly going to introduce a new position, regardless of exactly how we break it up. Okay, so here you go. Once you've got those, you can kind of identify some of the pieces, right? If this is the Tanya, this text right here is going to be a Braita. Here, Tanya, we're going to have another Braita. We notice we're going to have to figure out how far the Braita goes, but we have another Braita. So we have a Braita, a something and a something, another Braita, and then this other view at the very end. Okay. I have put the Braitot in red. Now you will notice that I showed my hand a little bit here by putting all of this in red. We're going to talk about why I did that, because figuring out where the Braita ends is going to be important. And in fact, by the time I get to the end, I'm going to even revise that slightly, but we'll get there. Okay, now content. Kiman az lahadatanya. The Braita, this Braita that follows is the subject of this discussion. I have this, I know this Braita. I want to know whose view does it represent, because there's no name attached to it. Okay, that's my question. The things we learned in the first half of the Braita, in the first half of this sugya, will be essential to answering that question. But the question is about this new Braita. Who said is responsible for this Braita? And what is this Braita? Ben Termer lo haya v'lo atid liot, never was, never will be, meaning that never was, this was never carried out. And then, but that's not the end of the Braita though. V'lama nichtav. It addresses the obvious corollary, which is, if that's true, why is it there at all? Drosh v'kabel schar. We are meant to drosh, to doresh it, and receive a reward. I will not go into what that means, because that will be a subject of discussion itself. All we need to know for now is this Braita says never was, never will be, and answers the Lama Nichtav with Drosh v'kabel schar. That's what it's there for. Now, the Braita itself is a statement. It never was or will be, and why is written for this reason, period. But here has a question mark, because the question is, who said this statement? Now, why does it have this? What's this command doing here? It's really just reiterating the question, because we have this whole Braita in the middle. Now, the answer, Ke Rabbi Yehuda. So pause on that answer. It's Rabbi Yehuda. It's Rabbi Yehuda. Well, it doesn't tell you. Normally, it would tell you, oh, it's like Rabbi Yehuda who said the following. Here it doesn't. Why not? There's actually a very obvious answer, which is, like this, it fits with the statement, the teaching of Rabbi Yehuda that we just got finished discussing. So I don't need to re-quote it, because you just read it, right? But that means something very crucial. It's claiming that Rabbi Yehuda's statement that the mother must be shava to the father in kol, mar'eh, and koma is functionally equivalent to, is tantamount to saying it never was and never will be. There's no such thing. So by making such an extreme midrash, he has functionally eliminated it. Now, ibait ema. If, bait, you want, ema, I can say. That ema or lema or tema is the Aramaic for say, but it's usually a conditional. I could say, we could say, one might say. If you want, I could say. Hopefully you saw in Frank that introduces an alternative answer. It's not like ilema, which is going to offer an answer that will be rejected and replaced by a new answer. Ibait ema is used when the Gemara wants to present two possible answers to a question, each of which is plausible and is not intending to decide between them. So, ibait ema, another possible answer. The Gemara is not going to tell you, is not telling you the other one's wrong and this is right. Ibait ema Rabbi Shimon hi. Maybe that Breita that we talked about before, this one right here, is actually was said by Rabbi Shimon. And but because we haven't talked about Rabbi Shimon yet in this sugya, it needs to quote the Breita that presents the view of Rabbi Shimon that they are basing this claim on. And here it is, Amar Rabbi Shimon. V'chi. Remember that, really. Could it be, right? Mipnei she'achal zeh, tartimar brasa v'shata, chati lo yaina italki, aviv imo motzi'ino to lesaklo. Because of this, his aviv imo are going to take him out to have him killed. Read it again and hear the echo. Where do we know this statement almost exactly, not 100% exact, but almost exactly from? Really? Ella, answer, right? Question, v'chi, Ella, lo atid liot, v'lam nichtav, drosh v'kebel schar. Now notice, this last line is identical to the Breita that we were kind of asking about before. Like, who's responsible for this? Rabbi Shimon says it explicitly. But why did I include, what leads me to think that statement, Ela lo alavet liot, is part of Rabbi Shimon's Breita? Because if you look at the other Breita that starts with that sentence, v'chi mipnei she'achal zeh, etc., it answered its v'chi with an Ella. It was a different Ella. But that v'chi, Ella, is a standard structure in a Breita. So this reads like one Breita. So Rishimon, the question we know, question is parallel to Rabbi Yosef Glili. The answer we know, we've just been talking about it. But you put them together and you get a very different concept. All right. Here you can see kind of a comparison. Why are Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Yosef Glili so different? And then we can talk about why Rabbi Shimon is also different from Rabbi Yehuda. We will talk we can talk separately about the end with Rabbi Yonatan, but I'm going to stop for now.